Okay, I'm gonna ramble. Hopefully I can edit this into a coherent narrative of some kind. My name is Cynthia. I started Cheerful Nihilism last year as a way to cope with, and I'm still in it, like this kind of free fall decline of my life. I still keep going. I'm not suicidal, you know, I don't want to die or anything. Sometimes I want like things to just stop happening. That would be great. If I could have like, you know, a good year, couple of years without any major trauma. Yeah, I've had a lot of stuff happen to me. Like, it's, you know, it's your classic first world low-key shitty existence, you know? Power and control. It's systemic. Like, we see it all the time. We see it everywhere. You know, how do you fight the ocean? It's a delusion. Like you make, I kind of sound like Rick from Rick and Morty with my stacker. You make choices how to cope depending on your level of agency and power. You know, I feel like nihilism is zeitgeist, spirit of the times right now. Nothing means anything because there's been a huge failure of all of the institutions that were supposed to provide knowledge, share information, provide standard of living for the citizenry. Not belonging. You know, I'm not white, I'm not Asian, I'm not neurotypical. I have mental illness or post-traumatic stress disorder from rape trauma. Sometimes it's hard to find the perfect words to say things. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words to say things or string along a bunch of very lovely catchphrases that roll off the tongue prettily and make things sound comforting. But that also might be an artifact from being gaslighted for over a decade in my last relationship. My internal compass is a little woo! You know what I mean? And I think you do. I moved my light. I want to see if that makes my face look less lopsided because I have a real issue with how lopsided my face is. I have like always had like a gigantic complex about my face. It's not, I don't have a classically beautiful face, but it might just be body dysmorphia. I don't know, I just like move through life kind of spitballing stuff and like whatever I find out is, you know, relatively successful or works is what I kind of go with. Thank God for YouTube tutorials, you know what I'm saying? I could not be a functional adult without them. Really, really, really. I don't know why I'm so excited about that. It's okay. Failure is part of success. As I'm just nervously popping all of my joints. Excuse me. I make weird faces a lot. My dad always said if you can laugh at it, you can live with it. Or maybe he never said that and I just made that up in my head. I have no idea anymore. What you remember about your life is totally colored by your emotional state in the present moment and what you're thinking about. The human mind is designed to create stories. It's human nature. Because life sucks. Yeah. Positive thinking. Nope, nope, So the memories that we pick out, they can be influenced by the context in which you remember them. The way things get a persistent flavor or feel to them in our stream of consciousness is usually because we grab onto it and make it part of our story that we tell about ourselves. And the story that we tell about ourselves with your thoughts running and running and running and running and running, you don't feel like you have any control over them. You just have control over your perception of them and how you process them in your conscious mind. It's not a happy way to be. The word happy is always also so freaking loaded. This connotation of happiness is like a level, an achievement that you can obtain. Because being human is about suffering and experiencing ephemeral moments of happiness and joy. Anybody who's taken MDMA knows, like if you're peaking, if you're blowing up forever, you would probably die within a few days. Because you wouldn't eat, you wouldn't do anything. You would just lay there and be like, oh my God, I'm so fucking right now. So this is where I'm at. I've survived a lot of shitty stuff. And I realized that because we tell stories, objective truth at some point doesn't even really matter. What matters is working things out together so that people don't have to struggle and suffer and hurt so much. All of those things are co-created. I think that's the only way I can really relate. I think that's the only way most of us relate, you know? You recognize things about yourself and other people, and you can't help that. The only thing that really allows for connection is being vulnerable and authentic. Talking about how fucked up shit is. You can fucking complain about shit, okay? That is your right. You can say whatever the fuck you want to say. But there's going to be consequences from the people around you, and you cannot avoid that. If we create this story, then you can create this story the way you want to create it to a certain extent. I mean, there's these raw plot elements that you cannot change. The contextual events that happen to you from the coalescing of all these other stories. Long-term subplots and like short-term subplots and everything in between. To be that honest, it's not fun. It's not nice, not cheerful, it's not happy, it's ugly. That's what being human is. Ugly and beautiful. It's everything. The older you get, you just get better at coping with the freakiness of it. The longer you hold something in your hand, the more familiar you become with it. I appreciate so much the people that like Cheerful Nihilism, the page, and like the posts, like the content that I make and share, because I do both and I don't watermark anything. It's my shit, so I can do what I want. You find your own meaning, you make your own meaning. So I'm trying to make meaning now, and I'm very happy that there are people that kind of resonate with that because it makes me feel connected. So thank you. I appreciate it.